Welcome to Unseen Sports TV, people. It's your host, Coach Parchment, and I'm here with some interesting news. Yes, people are gonna give you some information, and how the selection process is going on so far for the under 20 team. Yes, people don't say the big man them drop out, so the only thing we have leave now to really, look on is the under 20 team. So we are interested to know everything about what is going on. Yes, people, we are interested to know what is going on. We are interested. So when I look at the discussion on the topic, it said that discussion about the Jamaica under 20 team with Paul Maxwell. So people, Paul Maxwell will be on in a couple minutes, and you can ask any question you want to ask about the under 20 team with Paul Maxwell. Right, people? So just tune in, share the live with your friends, people, so that other persons can come on and get the valid information that they want, that they desire right now. Share the live, people. Share the live with your friends and everybody. Just a minute. Let us share the live with some persons so that they can come on and participate in the whole discussion. Give me a minute, people. Just share it out to a lot of friends so they can come on live in some groups and stuff like that. Yes, people, the leader is here. Alright, he come off. I don't know what went wrong a while ago. The leader is coming. Big up top 10. Big up yourself, top 10. Yo, share the link, top 10. Share the link now. Let some people come on. Share the link now. We're going to discuss some under 20 football. You see me? We're going to talk about some under 20 football. Share the link, top 10. Share the link. The leader, give me a minute. I'm just setting up them. I'm just add on. Getting some people to come on the live. Dropping us some more group. Yeah, I mean this, Sir Maxwell. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yes, people, the under 20 team is in motion. About picking selection is taking place, and Paul Maxwell is here with us to talk about what is going on. No further ado, I'm going to put on Sir Maxwell. Sir Maxwell, what going on?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man.
Yeah, hearing me well?
I hear you okay now.
Okay. Yeah. So, I've been watching some clips on the Kasafa game. Pretty Royal as Whisper's father, put up on YouTube, and I saw a goal that Whisper score, and I saw a couple of players really playing well. They look good out there. I don't know how Mr. Sewell, Mr. Fuzzy and his team is going to select the team, but maybe you guys, you are a specialist in this department. You can tell us what is going on. But straight off the bat, I saw Jaheim Thomas from Dintil Technical really looking good in the trials. I don't know though what the coaches there are looking for. What's your thought on the whole?
Okay. overall, let me tell you, it's a work in progress. Basically, we want to see how many of them really make final cut to go into the camp, right?
Okay.
So that is where everybody's looking at right now. Because to be honest, the standard right now
Yes.
is not of any great to really make any great competition, because we're still not at the level where we have all of the best players together. So when we have all of the better players together, at that time we'll start to really see the cream coming up to the top. But Whisper though, he has always been on a short list because people have seen him, and I keep mentioning that. So when it came out that Mr. Butt was saying why wasn't he invited, and then I think yesterday he mentioned that they wanted him invited when Paul Hall would have seen him, but I don't think that's necessary. You understand? Because he's not up to the standard for the senior national. But he, for a young player, 17, getting into the under 20 is significant. It's a good player. His off the ball movement is really good.
Yeah, that's one of the things I watch when I'm watching his clips. His off the ball movement, his scanning, his turns on the ball, and his technique when he's shifting. He looks different from his age group, you know. He looks different, and his body, his structure is massive.
He's different. Those things are a little bit different from a lot of Jamaican players. They don't, off the ball movement is something that a lot of Jamaican players don't do well. They react to things rather than do it before. You understand? Start to run before they react, and then a lot of times they are just that little bit too late when you want to reach into the box or to get on the other end of that pass. Being reactive, and they are depending on their speed alone to carry them in, and that's not going to work. You need to have the brain to be able to read certain plays, right? And a lot of them,
But Paul Maxwell, wouldn't you blame the coaches at the grassroots level for that? Because it's hard to bend them, and them reach.
Yeah, that's one of the problems. You see, when they reach at a certain level, at a certain age, it's very, very hard at that stage to do that. But it's something that the coaches have to do. It's something, we have come a far way, because in the past we have had cases where the coach would be complaining about getting players that are not up to standard at all. They don't know the basics. And that a lot of times when these things come out in the news, people assume that they're speaking about urban players. And a lot of times, sometimes it's players from the rural, background that just didn't get enough time. And I can tell you something, a lot of the better players are the ones in the rural areas, because they are coming in with sometimes better physical technique, and they are sometimes way more focused.
True.
Right. Compared to a lot of other players, because that's just the way it is. Because that's what makes a difference between an ordinary player and a special player.
Paul Maxwell, I don't cut you. I start the academy, right? At Golden School, right?
Okay.
Most of the players are from Oberlin High School, Stonian High, Meadowbrook, and a couple around the place. Girls also come and things, so we just work with them too. One of the biggest issues is not the small one, the big one is that they don't know scanning, they don't know how to check off for your opponents. I have to be going over the basics with them every day. But them can control the ball, and them can do a little skill, but them can't do the big basic to make them look different from everybody else. Check off for your opponent, scan the game, move to the ball, move in space to the ball. You understand me? And you ask them where them play ball. Some say them play ball for Kansas Spring. And then I say, like, really? Some of them say them usually play the Phoenix. And I say, like, really? You understand me? I say?
Let me tell you one of the problems then. Okay, right now, it's just now football is basically almost opening back. And you have a disconnect. Because, to be honest, it's roughly about 2 years, Let me see. Hold on. COVID basically came around in everything got locked off. It was 2020, right?
Right.
So let me just make it simple like this. For the whole of 2020, the whole of 2021, right? And part of 20, it's almost near 3 years. Because if you think about it, you have some players that didn't play from maybe midway 2019, you know, because some of them weren't involved in their school programs in the latter 2019. So those players, it's almost 3 years, and 3 years without, you know, any formal coaching, that sort of thing. Especially, let me tell you what's going to happen. We're not going to see it yet, you know. You see the next under 15 national team that comes about,
Yes.
right? That set of youngsters are going to be the ones that did not have any primary league per se in, I think, for 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022 almost again. Roughly almost 3 years, as I said. They have not, and that's a set of kids that would have been in grade 3, grade 4, 5, 6. And some of these guys are going into high school come September. So you're going to have these kids in another 2 years, right? They're going to be awful. I'm going to tell you the fact. The standard of football at the youth level is going to have to be rescued by all of these small academies like yourselves, the one that you have. That's what's going to make a difference. No, I'm serious. And that's one of the good things now out there, that you have a lot of people starting academies. You understand?
Right.
It's serious problem.
Somebody must ask you a question. Ask leader, what going for Pearson? Crazy on TV.
Pearson is good, man. Pearson is pro. He has a slight injury, right? He's there. Can you know that our thing is exposing youth, but we're not going to expose them at the detriment of pushing them and getting them injured, you know? So, about Pearson is good. However, what I can tell you, tomorrow evening, watch that. There's a youngster by the name of Ainsworth that is going to explode on people's television tomorrow. It's broadcast. I'm going to tell you.
So, what do you think about Omar Leng though? Is he at the trials though for the under 20?
Omar Leng is supposed to be, yes, I think he's supposed to be there. I'm not sure everybody that's there, right?
He's a talented. And I don't want anybody to play
his debut the other night. He made his debut the other night in the Monday night match. Got his feet wet. A little bit of nerves was there, but I think he did really well for that. And we have a number of other youngsters, but I'm telling you, you're going to see some young players coming out this tomorrow for Cavalier and also for Portmore. It's going to be a nice match. I can tell you. So it's something that a lot of people who might be considering what to do with a Sunday evening watch some Premier League tomorrow. Believe me, you'll see some exciting football.
Mr. Maxwell, I don't want anybody saying that because Leng got Cavaliers. He get a trial for the under 22.
No.
That boy is quality. He's a quality centre forward. When play centre forward, right?
Let's get it straight. Hold on, let me get something straight here. There is a list of players, right, that they have always had. Everybody can't be invited at once.
Right.
There are certain players that you don't need to. Okay, let me explain this. Let me put it this way. You don't need to bring them out at a certain stage. You understand? You really don't. And I think Whisper was one of those talents I think that we really didn't need to see because people didn't know. But I don't know. I really can't say what some people had a problem with because they knew also that he would have been on that short list. You understand? But there's nobody really there now in the under 20 setup that I would say demands a place in a senior team right now. Because the senior team is looking for the Nations League, and we're not going to see any young players. But that's not a joke thing.
Persons, while you jump on the live, please to like, subscribe, like the video, so Paul Maxwell can give us some unseen news. You understand me? So, like,
the exclusive. I still like that now.
Share it up, people.
Share it up, and we can get the likes up, and can see if we can get some exclusive.
Yeah, they want to share it up. likes they are 6.
Nah, man, we have to get up more than that,
Yeah,
man. Come on, man.
I will give you something exclusive. People, share the
Yeah, man,
live. Share the live.
share the stream out, man. Share it
Share
out
the
there,
stream.
man. Let's see, you know.
Everybody jump on, because we're talking about the under 20. Remember the big boy, them gone, you know. And the only thing left for us to really shake our heads and talk about is the under 20 and the girls. So let us
Girls that's going to be the one. That's going to a lot of people right now. That girls team. If they don't, I'm going to make it even straight right here now with that girls team. If that team doesn't qualify,
yes,
it's going to be the coach.
Coach problem.
Well,
Well, him have a good team and so far they are playing good.
Look here, if you think about it, the last time that female team qualified, the majority of that team was still very young.
Right.
Since that time, we have had, Bonnie Shaw, everybody, basically, majority of them are now professionals. The first time, a lot of them were still in college.
Right.
So I'm telling you, with what we have now, plus we have the influx of players also playing in England. Come on, look here. If the coach can't qualify this bunch, and by the way, let's get it clear, it's 4 teams going through straight. So if a Jamaican team can't be one of those 4, because I'm going to assume that, okay, USA and Canada will be in different zones. So It's going to be USA and Canada in one zone each, and then now Jamaica and somebody else. So if we can't get this automatic second place, something is wrong. Especially now.
We are going second. We are come out of the group on top, man. Come out of the group on top.
It's not just coming out of the group. You have to come out of the group, Once you come second, you're gone.
Okay.
After that, you have to be competing for the position in the Olympics after that. But once you come second, you are basically in the you are already in the World Cup. That's how I understand it.
Yeah. So Sir Paul, a lot of people, saying that, because Mr. Speed is at Cavaliers, why a lot of his players getting opportunity to represent Jamaica. Or you guys at Cavaliers are using the national team as, as the point to send them on.
Let me just smash down that line, okay?
Clear it up.
Let's look at it now. Let me go back a little in history here now. We're in what, 22? The last 10 years, okay? I'm going to ask you a question here now. What's the average, right, amount of players from Cavalier that have been selected to the national youth teams? Not make the final squad, Have been just selected and then make it the final squad. So it's a 2-part question. The average.
Right. Average. Out of 100?
No. Not totally, no. Each trial and then each final squad. What's the average amount of Cavalier players that are normally invited to the trials? And this is before Mr. Speed is anything at all. Right?
I would say.
Okay, average roughly, what has it been?
I would say out of 10, it would about 4 out of 10.
Right. Okay, so that's right. So every national youth team, right? Always, and that has nothing to do with Mr. Speed, Mr. Brown, Mr. Pink, anybody, Mr. Maxwell, anybody. It's just the quality, because a lot of people don't know this stuff. Well, they probably just don't know, and they're just ignorant to it. Do they know that all the various youth competitions for the past more than 11 years now, we're going back to, oh Lord, how long now? About last 16 or so years, right? Have been dominated by Cavalier, right? And before that, they have been dominated by Medhaven. I've been at both clubs, so it's not a coincidence, right? We put together teams that a lot of people might complain these are star-studded teams, but so what? All teams out there, Manchester City, everybody has a star-studded team. You understand? Right. So that has nothing to do with it. If you have star-studded teams, you must get a bigger proportion when the national team comes around. This does not make sense.
Right. That's what I believe.
Right. So that's why
That's what I believe too, Sir Paul. I always tell people, if your team win a championship or win, so majority of the players are going to come from a team because they are the best. They have the best players, right? And it's just natural. It's
Okay.
just
And
natural.
right.
You
So look
understand me?
here now. In 2011, when the last time we qualified for the World Cup, that team basically was coming from the Cavalier team that was dominant for years. You understand? And that's the last team that qualified. And there were 8 players on that team that played against France at the World Cup
Right.
finals from
Very
Cavalier.
good.
Started the
Cavalier.
match. Come on.
Yes,
It's not
right.
like, and from right from front to back, from goalkeeper to defense to midfield to far, everybody. It's 8. When you talk about 8, you're talking about almost the entire team.
Right.
And that were at Mr. Speed had no power to get anybody in. It was everybody gets in, but it's unfortunate. After that year, you know what happened? A local quota system came in because a lot of parish presidents were vexed, and that's one of the reasons why we have not been able to re-qualify at youth level since that time. Because in the past, nobody had a problem when Portmore had 4, 5, 6 players there.
For an overview.
Right, they had no problems then. But as soon as Cavalier changed the status quo, you had people starting grumble. Oh, that team they have 8 people. Come on, man. I don't have a problem whether it's 6, 7 players from Harborview, from Bear United. It doesn't matter. Once they are the best players, the best players. If the best players are from overseas, that's my view also. The best players. I don't care where they're from. That's my personal view. Auntie, let me just finish up this here quickly. Yeah, so the reason being, the other day people have been saying, 12 or 13 Cavalier. No, they're not. There were about 5 of them that were invited to the under 20, which is the norm. We always have about that because we do easily have at least 5 or 6. You understand that would be in any youth program that starts tomorrow. We automatically demand at least 4, 5, 6 places, just for trials, We're not talking about the final team, So the other thing now, so it was when people have it to make it look like all players were for one team. No, speak the truth. It was 2 teams were in training. You had 5 for one and maybe 6 for the other. And the thing is, the other team, the players that were there were about 4 of those players were already in the system.
Right.
So when you're making it look like these were new, these were like Topi, right? You had Atkinson, you had JD in White, and you had King. They have been part of the program for about the last couple times that they selected. So they weren't anything new. You had probably 2 new players there that you could say. 2 new players.
That's what the Jamaican fans don't understand. You see, keepers, the goalkeeper coach is the one who recommend keepers. You understand me? And if they have, you will more go for the one who have experience internationally more than the ones who don't have experience internationally. So even if Jaden White is not active in terms of playing, consistently in the league, he has experience internationally. Where once him coming to the system, coming to the Jamaica team, he already in the system already. So it's easier for him. You understand me? People are saying now get the game, him should in the system. Well, they have a point. But
look here.
That keeper at Cavaliers who is playing in the goal, quality keeper, him could represent Jamaica right now.
Well, he can't represent Jamaica at all. He'll never be able to represent Jamaica. Right, for obvious reasons.
Hold on there. Somebody, fresh guy. So, hold on. Hold on there, Paul Maxwell. Jeremy Lynch show. Yes. Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, man, I'm still here, man. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So we just read some comments. You know, fresh gotta say. Um, yeah, TV said unseen didn't till under 16. Now my school give them 4 love. Crazy on TV. Hey, didn't till under 16. You see, over the years didn't till haven't been focusing on their youth program. We have to give them a props, though, you know. First year, they really put in some work in it, and then we second round. So we have to give them a props. A true leader.
Yeah, man. Look here. Once you put in the work, you're going to get the results, you know. That's what always happens. Once you put in the work, you're going to get the results.
Somebody asked if Pierce to leave Cavaliers.
No.
No, people, Pierce is still a Cavaliers player. Don't worry yourself, man. You just have a little nigga. That work fine. Fresh God, I say long time, that's Richard Henry. Paul?
Huh?
Fresh God, I say a long time, that's Richard Henry.
Okay, look here. There's something called rotation, you know. And right now, as I say, look here, one of the things that we're about is to make sure that we do the rotation with the players. That's why tomorrow evening, you're going to be seeing basically, okay, in order to make players, and one of the things that we're doing here also too is streamlining the team according to who can go to Dominican Republic shortly, because that's another significant thing, that there are some players that unfortunately because of exams will not be able to go to Dominican Republic.
Oh,
right?
So when is that?
That's in May, right? And that is going to be in the heart of exam.
Oh,
that's what the problems. So we have to look at the players that are going to be available at that period. You understand?
Right.
So that's one of the things that we have to be looking at now. So some players that you're going to be seeing are players we know will be available to travel with the team. They are going to be away for 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah, people want to know about the competition they do. But we just finish and show the comment then, and then we make a touch on that. You understand? Anyway,
yeah, man.
Fresh guy say Leng is a cam. Omar Leng, is that true?
Leng is in there. Okay, let me tell you.
If he's a cam,
Leng should be there. I can't tell you exactly who is there because I haven't been there for the last couple of days. But we have a number of them that are there. Okay?
This is position, man. Omar Leng is talking.
Yeah.
What's his position?
His position?
Yeah.
Meaning what is
his position at Cavaliers playing on the field?
Okay, he came on the other day as a forward, but he's basically it was for the particular match. He's basically going to be playing on the wings in the next match. We're going to be seeing that. We're going to be seeing more on the flanks going forward. Because as I said, there's going to be a special thing in surprise for tomorrow for Portmore. I can't give out much, but you're going to be seeing some debutants that are going to really take the thing to Portmore tomorrow. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting match. If you thought that the match against Waterhouse was exciting, you're going to see something evil. It's going to be stepped up. The tempo is going to be lifted.
Keeper Cavaliers. I want to say keeper Cavaliers not good.
Well, look here. Everybody have their days, you know. And that was just I think for weeks. Yeah, they had a very, very good game. So basically, yeah, time when they're going to be up and the time when they're going to be down.
Let me ask you a question. If I want to kick the ball properly, how much time? Alright. You know how much time a ball can fit in the goal? A keeper only can save 4 meters, can make a good save in 4 meters of goal. You understand? So keepers are not Superman to save everything. You have defense to help them. So if a keeper
some people think that way.
They feel like they can save everything. They don't know how you answer the keeper not good. Keeper, how much man of the match keeper gets so far in the league? We can cut more than 2. About 2.
That's even 2 more than that.
They would have more than that.
Yeah.
Right? So we don't know how you're going to see the keeper on a good top 10. Come on, man. Better than that. You know watch the league top 10. You're going to watch one match and a Sunday gone.
On there.
We there every Premier League match. Monday night, Sunday night. Once it there in Kingston there. We there every Premier League match. So me can tell them what go on. We don't have to ask nobody nothing. You understand? Even what him say? The top 10 say no? Not just only Waterhouse match. The man no good brother. Alright, top 10, disagree to agree. I don't agree with you.
I've seen. I just want to know. What likes they know? People am share.
Likes they are 14. Don't know what about people are on live still.
Let's move it up a little more. 6 more. I'm gonna give the exclusive on the 3 youngsters who are going to be going to Dominican Republic.
People, you hear that? Step up the likes then, man. Share the stream, man. More hear the information there, you know. Alright, so Sir Paul, just give us some information on the Caribbean. It is called the CONCACAF Caribbean League, right?
Right. For us now, this is going to be a shopping window, right, to expose our talents. Because look here, a lot of time people go to some of these things, and after the end of the competition, there's nothing to show. Meaning that they might go far in the league, but they weren't able to expose their players, right? Because people don't want 30-year-old players to purchase, or 29 or 28. They want the young talent. So when you get an opportunity like this, you need to expose your better young talents to the world, right? Or to the CONCACAF region. So, that's one of the things you need to do. So we already have a plan. The only thing we have to work around, there are some players who would love to carry, but unfortunately because of exam commitments, we won't be able to carry them. But we have some look here, Cavaliers like a factory. So we have a conveyor belt with some young talent that are really going to surprise some people when they go over there. I'm telling you.
All right. So if
they're going to be, there's at least 1 rural school and 2 town schools are going to have their players in this thing.
So if how much game you have to win to qualify for the next round?
Okay, basically, once you at least win 1 match, because it's 3 teams in the zone,
Oh,
if you win 1 match, you're basically going to have a chance to go through. Understand? You don't have to.
Yes, sir.
You just have to win 1.
So it's 3 different. It's 2 different zones, right?
Yes. So if you come second, you're going through.
You and Waterhouse may end up in the final.
Possibly. There's a possibility. That can happen.
Okay. Waterhouse play some good football, so I think they can make it through. Let us see how that goes. Cavaliers, Waterhouse. But I think Waterhouse have a keeper problem now. Foster.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Out of the island because of personal issues. And the keeper the other day in the match, the Mona teammate mashed up in knee, tear ligament in the knee.
Is that bad?
Yeah, tear ligament in the knee. You have to do an MRI the other day. And then Chambers now him out of shape, bad. So.
Well, I think they have enough time, because it's about roughly about 4 weeks before the tournament starts. So hopefully I think they should get everything together by then. Because it's going to be a charter jet flying the 2 teams together. So let's see.
That's what the thing big, man. Talk to me, leader, man. Leader, the thing big, And some people that feel like say, me say some only for money to get still for the CONCACAF thing,
I don't know that.
Yeah, somebody tell me say when we qualify for the CONCACAF region, CONCACAF give the teams 32,000 US.
I don't know. I don't know.
Is that true?
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
I can't speak about it. I can't speak about it.
But question though, is CONCACAF responsible for you guys though for the hotel and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Alright. That's nice. At least you guys, a lot of things don't come out of you guys' pocket. So,
we just have to read.
It looked good. It looked good for the football in the CONCACAF. I'm like how the president that you the CONCACAF president really do a good job. You understand? Especially with the education of coaches throughout the region. Especially with Jamaica. letting them start their coaching education school and improving, even person like me, improving my knowledge about the game. Because we think we know football, we know nothing about football, I'm still learning the same way. That's with enough people in the park, them feeling bigger than the game. They're not bigger than the game. The game is always bigger than you.
All the while, because it's a dynamic sport, A lot of things people are used to some time back has changed. You understand? A lot of things have changed.
Yeah, all right. Back in the days, a coach would play a youth because when him injure, a coach would play. Now, you can't play a youth to injury in a game so easy. It's like an African game because everybody's smart. Now, once them see a person they limp, they're going to take him, they're going to run him to wreck. You understand me?
And that's one of the reasons how we lost a lot of our talent. So one of the things that coaches are learning about player management, how to rotate players in, rotate them out. Some Jamaicans don't understand that the team changed. There's something called player rotation now. So you're going to have some people coming out, coming off the bench. It's just basic player rotation.
I have some people too in Paul Maxwell. I love give a story like for them days how them playing them rough and them tough. So the coach them love talk. So the time you get that lick on my foot, we just rub off that with the ice and go out the back again and go play. Them things are mad.
Very short careers.
We hate them story there because them time they never know better. They never know better. You understand me? And if you ask them which part they know. Coach, they never make it in a football.
Just ask them, and right now, the opportunities right now for any basic thing. Look here,
we're not hearing something wrong with the audio.
What's that?
Something wrong with the audio.
Something wrong with the audio. Okay, hold on there.
Better now.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that for those in the past, right? You basically there was not much look for more than college. But now, if you are in that better 1% of the players coming out of the Da Costa and the Manning Cups season, you have a chance to earn a living from football. If you do well in the Premier League right now. Well, if your team gives you the chance, because that's one of the issues that I have with some of the local teams, that they're not giving enough of the youngsters a chance, especially the rural teams. And especially now, when there's no relegation for this season, I would expect to see all of the rural teams rebooting their teams now. Right? Reboot your team now. This is when you should do it because you can't be relegated. You're going to wait until next year when you realize, and then now that time when you want to introduce these young players, you're going to have a problem because it takes them a while to adapt.
I think winning is on some of their brain, especially Tivoli. I don't know, but I just can't understand Tivoli. And I really make Philip Williams leave them. It just look away, because of their philosophy. I don't understand me as a coach. How am I going to play them old man in my team? I feel them supposed to come help me coach a team. I go do a coaching course to come help me coach a team. I don't disrespect them. Understand? But at the end of the day, it's a young boy time now. Understand me? And I see why Philip Williams resigned. Because, you had stats, right? And you have so many players there you could have carry over, make them learn the game and make them matriculate and get better. Even Omar Leng, you understand Omar Reed, and he can't get them for going club. So him say, to me, it just pain him have to leave, because him philosophy and the employees' philosophy are not the same. I'm not wrong him at all. I'm have to stand up as a big man as a coach and leave. What me do them old man there for my team, Bridget?
Well, let me tell you a little thing here now, right? A little small exclusive. A number of people know that I scout for a number of schools. I've scouted for JC, Wolmer's, Calabar, a number of teams. And normally, the teams that I bring in help with the talent, within a number of years, they normally do quite well and they normally win. Right? I can help you out with this. One of my good friends, and we speak almost every other day, is somebody by the name of Cliff Williams. Okay?
Cliff Williams.
Williams. At Stats.
At Stats, yes. Cliff Williams.
No, with the leader and stats.
You want link
So
up
I
with
can tell people what stats for the next 3 years.
Yeah, stats
That's
under
what I can
16
tell you.
people. Me can tell you this.
Under 16 team this year, if they lose, I will be very surprised.
Yeah,
And
I saw
that can't even play this year. So I think this is the best chance for
Hey,
some other people to get one over stats.
listen
That
up.
is going to be a powerhouse in the next 3 years.
I saw Philip Williams' team play Glenmore down by St. Clarendon, right? And me see the team have moved the ball. I tell you, in a pretty.
Two players that were in that squad that you saw, they're not in this one here now because they just came in. Are two Cavalier players, right? But you'll see them for Manning Cup.
In a pretty. They will play some good football. The only problem I have though, keepers. And they really are a good keeper.
No man, don't worry about that, man. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
They really are a good keeper, but you know, they always have good players who can watch and things and stuff like that.
Well,
but I tell you, man, the program nice. But I know the secret towards it, you know. Not only you are getting ball, you know. I know only you are getting ball.
I don't know. Of yourself.
You know what I go on. Paul, you have to link me to you, because I'm going to want some ball for my school. You know?
Just show me off the ear, man.
No joke, you know.
Anybody. Once you have a program that helps the youngsters, that's all I want to get them a good egg and everything. No, man, no problem. I do it for everybody.
My academy is to help schools around that region. And anybody who wants to come from, you know, St. Mary to Glengarth to Tavan to Constant Spring, Cassava Peace. Come right down. Anybody want to come? I do it at Golden Spring every Saturday morning, sometime during the week, depending on, you know, communication with the players and their mothers or their father. So as somebody, you know, wow, I have to build a youth then. And you know, years over in playing football from 2018, they're not playing more football. And then I always get beaten with some bad beating. So we want to try to change the man to that side. Change it from a singing school to a ball playing school. Because everybody when they hear about ball in power, we hear about all together sing.
All together sing.
Alright, and Easter champs. No, it will change to a football in school. But I tell you, if me not do it, we'll get somebody to do it. You understand me? Yeah, so back to the under 20 selection process. So this is the cassava leg, right?
Right.
Are they going to have a sink catching leg? Or they have a sink catching leg already?
I'm trying to remember if they had the sink catching. I'm not okay. Let me tell you, I'm not up to date with all the data. I know that I think there's some players that I think got into a sink catching leg already. Come on to understand, you know, right?
Some players
they already had legs in the rural areas, you know, right? So I'm not 110, but I'm almost sure because I think the cassava might be with one of the last legs.
Okay. Well, make sure you go for the for Happy Grove, you know.
Oh man, hey, certain thing in attack on here, man. Look here, it's like Marley. It's not just the other day I know about him, you know. Know about him for a while, tracking progress, and they will know because, trust me, even with his coach at Tivoli, Marley was never going to Tivoli. Okay, just tell you that thing.
But this man try to understand why is only you and a couple other persons in the club selected youngsters to come up in the football program. Why other clubs not doing it? You understand?
Okay, let me see the problem there now. Other clubs, they have a problem now because when a coach is hired, the coach is hired basically to win and not even develop. The advantage we have is that the technical director and the person that actually owns the club has the mandate and knows that for his club to survive, winning is important in that you have to stay in the league. But I think some years ago, Mr. Siaga of Tivoli mentioned this, that when you look at the amount of money you get by selling one player, comparing to what you get by winning the league, it makes more sense to get a player sold each year than winning the league. It's way better. It's just basic financial sense. Plus, your team, once your team has youngsters, like it or not, look here. Okay, let me help out with something here. For this round here, you only need to finish in the top 6. You don't need to top the zone. That's a bonus, but you need to manage your players so that when it reaches to that next level, that's one of the secrets that Cavalier used last year. You understand? So you just need to rotate your squad, and when you reach to the business end, you know who you're going to be having in there. Because let me tell you something, at the end of a rough season, this is one of the things that's showing on Mount Pleasant now. After you play a certain squad day in, day out, and not rotating your squad, you're going to have injuries that come up and are going to take out some of the players permanently for the rest of the season, sometimes straight. So Mount Pleasant, I don't know if people realize that there are about 3 key players there that the career is basically almost finished. Some key starting players, they won't be able to play because of that same basic problem. They don't do that rotation, and they're not digging as deep as they are digging fairly deep, but not as deep as they should into the youth program, because there's at least one I think the most talented player, 2 of the most talented players that Mount Pleasant has had. Basically lost them. You understand? One has come back, they have come back to town, they have gone back to high school. That sort of thing. They have gone, so for me personally, it's the Mount Pleasant experiment is still a work in progress. I would have expected more at this stage, but I suppose they're learning by it. So if they can't develop them, I suppose they'll buy them.
Run through some comments, Sir Paul. Cavaliers and Waterhouse must go final in the CFU. Being a watch some CFU clubs championship match, team them already. So basically, I must say the Cavaliers and Waterhouse should reach in the final. Jay Weather, I say big up yourself, Jay Weather. Yeah, man, blessings, my brother. No, more life and love. Yeah. So Paul, in terms of the under, all right. So we have Zimenez making the national team, and we have Pearson making the national team, right? Persons are saying if you're good enough, you're old enough. Why you are saying different in terms of Whisper not in the national team?
Okay. Whisper is currently 16, right? He's 17 late this year, right? Look here, there's such a thing as pushing a player too early. He hasn't had any real, I know he has played against some club teams abroad and so on, but when I'm saying any real exposure playing at that level, and it wouldn't be long and short, personally, at under 20, it's even a jump for him, but I think he can make that jump. Senior level, be reasonable and be honest, he's not ready.
So people could say the same thing about Zimenez and Pearson.
No.
Why not? Adrian.
No. Pearson is not even close in his age range. No.
I'm talking about Zimenez. Zimenez is old.
Pearson is easily almost close to almost 3 years older. 2 years and a lot.
And Zimenez?
Let me see. A full year at least.
Oh, how much? Full year. Right. So
1 full year at least.
Yeah,
easily one. Zimenez is going to be 18 and I have so many exclusives, but how much you like Reach? You like Reach 20 at least?
You have too much excuse.
What you like Reach?
15 people. As no come on, new person.
Man, you give people a big responsibility. But we can't give it.
When I work with me in the top 10.
I like a thing for
Share live in a Tajay Campbell. Share live, man. Crazy on TV.
Cyber and reach 20. And I tell you which, when Zimenez reaches 18, right, where he might be landed. Because remember, the agent for well, I don't think people even know who that facts. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not even going to say anything. I almost let out something a while ago. So I can leave it.
Zimini I got somewhere soon when I'm 18.
I don't know. When the lights get up, I can tell you that.
But him leave him club and go on Mount Pleasant.
Well, nothing wrong with that. People move clubs all the while.
But I don't think he's playing I don't think he's going to play it because I don't think the transfer come true.
There are some that transfer had a lot of it's convoluted. As far as I know, it should, but Harbourview is trying valiantly to hold on. I don't know. I think it's in the hands of the TFF, but ultimately, based off of how I understand it, it's only one place the Minis going to be playing.
And I'm Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the player don't want to play anymore at Harbourview because he wants to perfect his position. And he's not getting the opportunity to play in that position. Because
exactly.
Right? And he make a choice to leave because he have a
space. Can you play in the senior team at a certain position and he can't play in the club at that position? That makes sense.
Right. People, Jay, the way I just share the live. So,
20 likes. I'll let you know country that Zimini's if
it reached 20. It reached 20.
It's 20?
Yeah.
Okay. When Zimini's turns 18, right? We should be seeing Tyreek Zimini's making a move overseas to Europe.
Europe, you're the country now, you're the country.
No man, you have to get 5 more.
People, leader, I get five more people. Come on, man, drop the like, them people, drop the like, 5 more. So
the agent is the same as I have a player who they are in the same team, more or less. Or they will be because he can't sign a pro contract as yet.
Yeah, sign it as it. No. Big up Eddie Gouda. Eddie Gouda just joined the live. Eddie Gouda, share my life with your family, you know. Your people, they make them jump. And we talk some under 20 football. And we talk Premier League football too. Yeah, man. Them bad, big up yourself, them bad, yeah. Share the live so your friends and your family can come on. You understand? Tell them to subscribe to. I talk some important news here from Paul Maxwell. I know we give you the real thing, no fake thing. The true Paul.
Never fake. We have contact all over. Give you exclusive, not from one club either. It's a Cavalier thing.
Alright. I don't know if you watch the game though. The Casafa, the under 20 trials thing. You watch it?
No, yeah.
So as I was saying, I saw some good players. So I was saying, Duncan McKenzie look better than all of them. Jaime Thomas look good also. I think those we whisper players will get a chance to play. I don't think for me personally, the keeper from Mona is a good keeper, but I think the same catching keeper and the dental keeper is a better keeper than him. What do you think, Paul?
Well, let me tell you. I've seen the Mona keeper before, and I've seen the dental, right? And I've seen the St. Catherine. And to be honest, the 3 of them are similar, but if I was going with the national setup, I would go with the dental. So.
The dental?
Yeah.
But people are complaining I'm short, and that's my problem.
Look here, let me tell you. Look here, to be honest, that is also an issue at international level. But the thing is, there's another taller keeper, that's training by Waterhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And he has Premier League experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I doubt any of those keepers that you mentioned would get that number 1 spot.
That means when I see them giving a wow, like a cut at the above. You see when I see like how you just look at James one time in there. Remember James?
I know.
Yeah, them type of thing. I not see them thing.
The next keeper who I think is about 6'2" now. Yeah. I think that one he would have He was formerly at Dunoon, but he didn't go back to school to basically play Premier League. And he played Premier League last season.
Okay. Eddie Gona, big up yourself.
One. He has had international experience. He has traveled abroad. He has played in club matches against clubs in Mexico, that sort of thing, where he was one of the more outstanding players. So I imagine. What's that?
The keeper you're talking about who can be the under 20?
Yeah, man.
From Waterhouse?
He's training at Waterhouse.
Oh, training at Waterhouse. Okay, I understand.
Yeah. He's in between clubs.
Journey with Saka Wilson. Same here?
Yeah. Kevin Wilson.
Kevin Wilson.
Right name, yeah.
Maybe the Saka I'm pet name, you know?
Saka's his pet name.
Okay.
He was at Mount and he went overseas to Florida, and he's one of those that you should be looking at now too. Excellent talent.
Do you think if we had the proper infrastructure, JPL could attract 10 to 25,000 fans per game?
Okay, let me tell you something. Look at where we're coming from, right? Normally, if you went to a game at Arnett without Arnett playing, you wouldn't have gotten turnout you got the other day. And where I think we are going now, where the JPL is doing is trying to streamline the games at good venues, is the way to go. Where some people can like all on a Sunday evening now, you can get a nice double header. So it's something that is building. If you saw the very first Monday night match, at Sabina, you had the ambience and thing, and people came there because there are people that will come to Sabina. Arnett, you're still going to have a lot of people that might be skittish about just going to Arnett because of that, being able to reach in there, while there are people that will be walking to Sabina. So the JPL needs to look at that aspect because Sabina seems, in my mind, to be a very, very good venue going forward that they need to use a little bit more. Right? And you will be able to get the fan base turning out at a Sabina even more. Apart from you getting the hardcore support from inside of certain places like maybe Arnett, Right.
Balakar said, no, him no good brother. Who that thought? The Indian keeper? Talk to me, Balakar. Talk to me. I know he's a Phoenix man, Top 10. Top 10 say never shot and seen stopwatch height. Well, you have to understand at certain level, a player, when we go against professional players, they can box the ball up very easy. You understand? Technique up and everything up. Quick. They want technique up. So you have to understand that, people. Another joke football. Anybody you see now is competing for the second string spot. Take it from me. You know what I want already. Take it from me. Second string spot. Nothing wrong with the height at second string. Don't worry about it. Balakar, the Waterhouse keeper when Paul talk about is not playing at Waterhouse, he's training at Waterhouse. Alright, you might get the game for Waterhouse. I said that. So make sure you understand what I ask. Mr. Maxwell, what about Bennett? Let's start already this season at Harborville. About who? Who's that? Bennett. I don't know if he's a goalkeeper. Oh, I think I know the goalkeeper they're talking about, yeah. I think I know who they're talking about, the goalkeeper. I'm not sure of his actual age. I don't think that if it's the same keeper I'm thinking about, I don't think he's eligible. I'm not sure. I doubt it. You have to be 2000. Sorry? Is that a Paris train? I don't understand Eddie. I don't understand. Balakar, Butler keeper then better than them. Oh, Butler keeper better than them. Well, as we say, Butler keepers are good, but I don't get the cutting edge from them. Like they are a cut above the rest. I think they are better in Jamaica. That's my. When you remember when you watch Schoolboy League, you see James play for Old Man's Man, right? And you have a keeper down the the way. Everything will flick it out, and then bad. Collect the ball good, everything. You remember the keeper there? Them type of keeper. I not see them keeper there again. I don't know why. You
Okay,
understand me?
a lot of the footballers that we've seen this year, right? The COVID 2-year break affecting them. We're far behind everybody else. And I can tell you, I know my expectations for this under 20, and it's not pretty.
Richard Green, sorry, 10 to 15,000. Jay, anyway, I said Anthony Bennett is 18 years old.
Is 18? Well, that means he should be getting a look in then.
Right, he should be getting a look in.
That didn't see. Yeah. Was he called to the first set of trials? I don't know what happened there.
Balakar, Jay, you know me in Jamaica not good. Balakar know the keeper, Balakar know the keeper, but the keeper are good. So, Jay, my name that we are saying give you a Jay. My, you know. Because people know the keeper, they know if they're good, you know. You understand? But Paul Maxwell don't know somebody else know in the comment section. So mine, yeah, do. Yeah. So in terms of you know a club's goal, it's up to them and their structure and what they want to achieve. Why they use younger players or older players, right?
Yeah, because okay, certain garrison communities, objective of football there is a different objective than in certain other areas that are non-garrison. So if you look at, let me just look here. If you look at Harborview, Cavalier, Portmore, think about it. The majority of players that you're going to be seeing are getting opportunities going overseas any at all. They're coming from those teams. However, the teams who you know have the talent base, they churn out a lot of talent, right? Would be like the Arnett, the Tivoli, right? The Waterhouse to a little extent, because Waterhouse has done well in the past. Tivoli has done well way in the past also. But in recent times, you're not seeing them pushing their players out like the amount of talent that comes through, because they have a different objective. The objective is different because they're getting a subsistence most times from the member of parliament. So that helps keep them afloat. Other clubs, it's a business thing. So they need to get their players out there so that the club can stay afloat.
Okay. So basically Cavaliers have a business module or a business club. A club that wants to, you know, spend money and make money.
Hold on. Any football in the world, that's what it is. Any football. When it's people invest in Manchester City or whatever, right? It's a reason they do it, you know. They don't do it just out of love of it, you know. It's a business venture.
It's to spend and to gain more than not to spend. Right. So I understand that now, and I think that's one of the reasons, you know, mashing up more players. And you know, when we look back on the Premier League, I look back on their you know, history and stuff. Arnett Gardens had one of the time some of the best players in the country.
They always do.
Where are they now? How much money the club make off of any one of them?
They're doing very well this year. They have rebooted a bit, not as much as I think they should, but they're doing well this year. But they're still not getting the business end of the deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the business end. I'm not talking about the performance, I'm talking about the business end. Getting the players go on contracts overseas, getting them out of the country.
Poor.
If those players don't have an agent, they're not leave them not gonna leave on it, them already play to them.
Get to leave. One I think told that when the other day. It's basically because him I think he was out of contract, that's how I think, and he was able to move. And it had nothing to do with the club. And it, to be honest, I can't say this here. And its performance, you know, in the professional environment of getting players opportunities is one of the worst of all the clubs around the place, because up to what club was the name? That thing that came from again, Andre Blake and Javon Watson. What name it was again, man?
What name again?
Sporting Central.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, almost everybody else, you know, at some stage, you know, have had players been able to get Tivoli has at that time. The neighbors, Boydstown, has had way more success than Arnett. Think about it. You understand? So you have a lot of other clubs out there that has had way more success. When you look at the amount of talent that Arnett has had, think about it. The basically have had no players going nowhere overseas. None.
People, you can call you and ask no question, so the number there. You understand? So you call you, talk to the leader of the information.
How the likes stay now? You are here the European country? As
People,
is?
23 them there, they don't reach 25.
Hey, come off, you're not going to hear the country. Come on.
No, the brother, Jay, what not? Top 10. What go on top 10, man? Now I get in the stream, but I'm still going on the comment section. Alright, so much Jay, Malakar for Kali, Once about the number again, people. Going about the numbers. The number, yeah. Number to call in, yeah. Alright.
Yeah, man. Ask me any question they want. I hear they're supposed to have a big clash on another program tomorrow night. I don't know if the next person going to show up still. I'm going to chicken out. But waiting to see. The leader versus the butler.
Let's let it go.
Yeah, man. Come here.
Rich Post Sports. London, England calling. Question. What are both your expectations of the J under 20s? Don't petty it up. Do they have an impact on the senior plans of Coach Paul Hall? Hall. Speak! Speak, Paul. Maxwell. Speak.
Okay. What's the question here again?
What's about your expectation of the under 20 team? Don't petty it up.
Okay. If we look at what Paul Hall has said, right? We know he's part of his thing is youth development. So that's one of the reasons why before the other day he requested to see the under 20 players as part of the senior program. This is something that he's taken from one of his mentors, Rene Simoes. This was a thing that was popular back in Rene Simoes' time when whenever a senior team was called, they had a certain amount of youth players from whichever team was coming up to be playing. So if it was an under 20 competition coming up, you're going to see about 4, 5, or 6 under 20 players in the senior squad. So Paul Hall also is looking at a long-term thing, a long-term deal. So when he starts in the Nation League, right, he's looking at not just the Nations League this year or the Gold Cup next year. He's looking to do well right into qualification, right? Because the next competition is going to be 2026. But however, it starts in 2024 and finishes in 2025. So Paul Hall technically will only have this year and next year to streamline any team he's going to be using. If he gets the job, even though a little birdie has told me, Paul Hall set.
Okay. So what's your expectation now? What's your expectation?
For the under 20?
Yeah, in the competition. And based on how they're selecting the team and stuff like that.
No, listen. Okay, let me be honest. Unless I'm not sure who the players are that they will be bringing from England. Based off of what I heard before, if they're getting some of these players, I'm expecting us to do fairly well. However, if based off of what I've seen, read the first trial with some of the people that came from overseas and who we have, I'm not expecting the team to do well. If it's going to be a primarily local team with just some of the guys that we saw coming from USA, I'm expecting the team to do poorly. I'm going to be honest.
Okay. Going to be what? Poor?
You'll get some influx of some good guys from UK. Because look here, the local players, the 2-year layoff, it really affecting them. The quality.
We have any good CDM for the under 20? Or we're going to go overseas for that?
A fair CDM. So I feel like I can do the role.
You remember the one at JC? I think he's a good CDM. I don't know. He looks a cut above the rest in the schoolboy league. I don't know if he's playing in the club football.
We have players that can fit most of the roles, but the problem is going to be that 2-year layoff and that Jamaica took a little bit too long to start back their football program. I remember I spoke to Lon Donaldson, the former coach for the women's team, and he was wondering why were we taking so long to get our football program restarted. It's just like when they had spectators. Jamaica was the only team that was lagging behind in that. Why? It was ridiculous.
People.
But as I said, we're going to see a reflection of that in how the team performs.
People. All right, we get bigger now. More people are coming on. Please to like the life. Yeah, man. Now cost no money.
These people are now.
20 the point, 23 a while ago. A couple jump on.
Something, man. Them don't really want to know where Zimini is going, man.
Yeah, look at them, they want to know which European countries Zimini is go. You understand what I say? They have ideas still, because somebody tell me a little thing, but you want to talk to them. You want to tell them. We got 27 likes. People, come on, 30.
30? Okay. Scale them out. The team I'm going to has an E in the country's name.
Has an E in the country's name.
Yeah, man.
Them get that already, man. I know, say a couple
I only put country have in there, man.
Yeah, but a couple countries, I know Jamaica said the ball I go so. See
a only put country have in, man. Only pa, you know, the thing there. Only, man.
So the number there, 3414262. Call in and you know, talk to me. Tell us your thoughts about the under 20. Tell us what you think about it. What you disgruntled. What you don't like about it. Talk to us, people. Come on. Call the number. Yeah. So Jay, anyway, that was saying, remember you have 3 keepers in the team and you have a player at GK who start JPL games, not called to the under 20. Check into it, Paul Maxwell. Thank you.
A player at where?
Remember you have 3 keepers in the team and you have a player at GK who start JPL game, not called to the under 20. So basically, I say you have 3 players when I play.
So basically, I'm looking out for them.
Okay.
Richard might be, yeah.
Richard Green, who's the CDM for the under 20? Answer that. Balakar. Put up back the number. Put up back a while ago. But nobody not call me. Belgium, Mr. J. Rico Sports. Question: to what degree extent do you consider J to be a football country, or the challenge outweigh the opportunities? To what degree extent do you consider J to be a football country, or the challenges outweigh the opportunities?
Okay. Let me tell you. If you look at it this way, right? Jamaica, back after Ricardo Gardner, we had a serious influx of players in overseas. After UK changed up their work permit thing, we had a serious, because most of them were going that direction because of a particular agent. After a certain period, everything fell out of that market, and because that had to do with also the agents. Because some of the agents after that, they're now basically started going back and looking at telling players that, okay, if you get you in the US college system, we can get you in the MLS draft and so on. And that basically worked to an extent for a little while. And then after that, you know, that basically is a bottom, and I think it fell out of that bucket. So what has happened in recent times now is that players are going to various places in Europe, a number of other places, because let me tell you, what I found out when my team went to Europe to play is that Leon Bailey has opened a lot of doors for us, because based off of what everybody wanted to look at players, that they said, yes, they want the wingers, they want these fast, players that are coming from Jamaica, because they're looking at similar players. Because what I can tell you is when people are looking for players from Jamaica that have not been through their academy system, they're going to be looking for wing backs and wingers. wing backs, and wingers. They do not want any central midfielders or any of those players. If you check it out, over the years, majority of the players that we have exported have been wingers, wing backs, and then some forwards. You understand? Because they don't feel that we have the headspace to play in the middle of the park and deal with the tempo of the game. So let's still look at the Jamaican players as athletic, strong, fast, that sort of thing. So one of the things now with Jamaica itself is that we need better coaches, which is one of the things I think that the JFF has set out to do. They did this some years back, but it was almost a token thing. Nowadays, when you have the various CONCACAF licensing coach, you have to actually pass. And there are some significant people who did not pass these various coaching exams. I'm not even going to call any names because it would be embarrassing to certain people. Certain people that were in national programs and they couldn't pass the CONCACAF licensing coach. And that were probably one of the... I won't go into if I talk too much more on that, they're going to call names.
The leader.
So,
Baba Carla come in here.
Come on, you can come on.
Hello, Unseen Sports here. Yeah, hello?
You hear me?
Yeah, man, I hear me. Leader, you hear me?
Look at Valia, man, we're good.
Talk.
Yeah, man. So, leader, go over here and say, Cavalier, Oakmore, and working, Harborview. For them youth always get like the chance to come overseas. So I say, what about the other club that we have some good young talent? What if them can, why they not have it tell get the youth them out that country? One can come on board and try to bust some of the youth them out that club and try to get a percentage more than going to the club and take away youth them from the club.
You hear that, Mr. Lee? You hear that?
I hear that. Okay, let me tell you. Young players, yeah, man, of course. Portmore, Harborview, and Cavalier. Of course, you can get the younger player from other clubs. What we do is we go for them and we bring them to our club. Okay? Listen, let me tell you why. Okay, it might sound cold, yeah, boss, but let me tell you. After, if I, as a person that is with, say, Harborview or Cavalier, if I go for a player at your club, right, and I try to get him overseas, I have a player in my club that has been with my club from he's 10 years old. And when he reaches 18, right, I am to turn my back on my 18-year-old to try to help another club's 18-year-old? No, sir. That doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. That is one of the reasons why young players are being attracted to certain teams.
Paul, hold on, Paul. We hear myself. Yeah? Your time.
Yeah, man. I see this.
You never tell me your name still now. Balakar. Everybody a big Balakar. Yeah.
So me I say, 95% that you keep them out of Jamaica. Where one will go World Cup, one will nearly go World Cup. You team them, you know, say most of the ball of them normally come from Tulane. See, nowadays, they don't do that something again, you know. You don't find nobody from Westmoreland. You don't find nobody from Tulane. You don't find nobody from Central. You hardly find they use the international program because they start putting on yourself. You see me?
Okay. Balakar, I'm asking something. The team, I'm going to tell you two teams. You mentioned the teams that got to the World Cup. I'm not going to go back to Simoy's time because Simoy's time you had teams in place for like months and end and so on. So I could look at 2011, right? And then there was the other team that just missed out on the two last teams that just barely missed out on penalties or goal difference, right? There was a team with Ajani Talbot and Jawani Hines, and the 2011 team that qualified with Alvas Powell and company, and the last under 20 team that had in Jamaica and some other players, right? I could look at those. Who were the rural players in the 2011 squad?
Hold on, man. You see, under 17 World Cup.
That qualified, the under 17.
World Cup. The keeper where they added the number one will get hurt.
Trench.
And it's trying
Trench.
Mushet, he music up.
Trench, I know. I know players now. Richard Trench.
Yeah.
That's one.
And the keeper, if the striker score, Jamaica now.
Hold on up, Balakar. Listen, man, it's something I'm showing you in a Balakar. And I'm going to show you what is holding back things now. Okay, Balakar, that's Trench. Troy Mupen was another one, right? I know the team now. Who else was there again? Let's help jog my memory. No, it's not a couple. It's probably one more. Also, because the problem is, let me show you where the problem is now. Balakar, listen, man. Let me tell you where the problem is. The state of affairs, right? That youngsters were getting in opportunities in some of these clubs. Back in that time, it's not happening again with some of them. Because of that, a lot of them are migrating and to the schools in town. So some players now, like, okay, Kaim Paris, right? I'm going to use him as an example, right? Kaim Paris, when he goes to trials, from Kasafa and Cavalier. But where did he originate from? Was he a rural player?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically he was a rural player, right? He just honed his skills and polished them up when he came to town. Because if Kaim Paris had stayed where he was, I'm going to tell you, I'm hearing about Kaim Paris, because the opportunities that he got to go overseas and play that sort of thing and play in the Premier League is what helped him. Understand? Far too many times, the rural teams are all on winning alone and not development. So because of that, it is hindering the development. Because look here, Stets. Look how many times Stets has won and done well at youth level and whatever. How many? I'm trying to remember when last has St. Elizabeth had a team even nowhere near to get into the Premier League. Have you ever? I'm trying to remember.
Never.
So you understand where I'm going? And I can tell you, I have a current States player who is now playing for
Make Balakar. You guys say Balakar.
People may say, yo, in our country, what if he's the first under 17 team guy World Cup? See the trials with them again. The country you them come up and play with the town you them. And then she said, boy, the country you them stronger. Right? For instance, you see Armaview now, Armaview used to get a lot of ball from Tulani. Same Alan FC then. Because Romeo Lewis to Landsley, Landsley player, that has to come. He played for Williams, he played for Cedric Titus.
Mr. J. Daly. Mr. J. Daly.
Even from down here, you see me? But me I say, Village United did have some good youngsters. We did have some good youngsters. And whenever you them carry the national team for far, like you team them, then I see them take out the youth them and fit into them play and then they fail. So that needs to stop. You see me? If the best player them there, at Harborview, you use them. Then they have Cavaliers, you use them. Then they are Arnhem, you use them. You see what I say? But it don't work so. It don't work so,
No, it works so.
I might turn a little bit, but a long time I watch football and play. Just to me have one bad team in the top of the ball.
Alright, so Balakar, my question, come here you beat up the Waterhouse keeper and the Cavaliers keeper. And you say, the Phoenix keeper is better than them. Talk to me, tell me what I go.
No, alright. You see, Phoenix keeper will keep the corner. Yeah, if you say, as we are saying, you are saying, boy, you know, really like, better, like, you know, see, like, outstanding way. You know, say, if you have a better keeper in England, you can use it for your number one. But not go around the youth and then try not with the youth and then try to keep couple of years there. You see me? Because, alright, Cavaliers have look youth they play in a midfield. He named brother Rochester.
Yeah.
Was supposed to eat the team. We not tell no lie. If the youth they in a national under 20, we don't have a problem. Because I watch him in a president he can play. But I know every Cavaliers young player can play in a league in a under 20. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rochester stand over, he can play in a midfield. Even defensive midfield, if he say he can play.
I think Rochester holding up.
Well, one little down man, one little youth play in a midfield thing. Cavaliers are 18 man. If I know well, but for Rochester in here. You see me?
Yeah.
18 year old play in a midfield.
You know, Rochester can't play because I think Rochester is 19 or 19 already or something. Born 2002.
So he can't play.
At something, I've asked Paul. I've asked the leader.
Yeah, man.
The leader come out for the stream, you know.
The man is to deal with the football better. I'm seeing some clip with the Phoenix player in my trials. Centre back look good.
Yeah, look good. Yeah, me think I chat about the centre back, but he not good for true, but not lie. Tall and big.
You man not pick up ball. Because we perform that some clip and I be control the ball and pass out there.
Yeah, and he must split the lines too.
Yeah, the winger from Bona did that too.
But we are say still, my standout player them though, I watch it though, my standout player them, Duncan McKenzie, Jaheim Thomas from Dintil. He look good. Jaheim Thomas from Dintil look good. Nah, telling a lie, look good.
McKenzie, which one did he come from?
Yeah, I think he's a Real Mona player now. JC man. Play for JC man, Captain JC.
Oh, the little brown you there.
Yeah man, I'm Captain JC.
He can play, man. Yo.
What going on, Sir Paul?
No man, JPS, like a blackout. I just chip and lick out the Wi-Fi, so back on.
Okay, back on.
And I'm gonna full up the team and one player. So now UK player now come in.
Paul,
You know what? UK base player?
Yeah.
Okay now. Okay. Any UK based players going to come in closer to when the final squad is put together. That's how I understand it. Because you have to understand, you know, these are players that have professional contracts and they can't be released just like that.
Alright, make it done that every time.
Right? So that's basically how I heard it. That you won't see them until it's not going to be a lot if we're going to see some of them. You have set the invitation.
So leader, if the UK players have not come in when the finals for you, right? That means that Whisper should never ever number one Jamaican trial. That's not right there, man.
Why? I don't understand. Hold on. Why?
No. Just to be answering sports.
No, hold on there. What you trying to say?
I understand that one. Because we have a different view to it, you know. If he say everybody for come for a child, you know. Not care which club you play for, you know.
Hold on, look here. If we have a player coming from Manchester City, you feel that player should be trying out?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it. Because you send a signal. I think it's sending a signal.
Look here, hold on. Let me just make it simple. No, hold on, look here. And this is something that I've always known, right? You get your core, right? Once you have your core team, right? You know, so this is a base, right? And then you might need 2 or 3 pieces to fix it up because whatever amount, it can't be a lot. I wouldn't expect it to be more than maybe 4 or 5. Okay, it can't because you have no cohesion. But it's a reason why CONCACAF has made, FIFA itself has made this window available, right? Because they are expecting the teams to go for the players who are in professional clubs. Professional club players can only be released at FIFA windows. If you are not a professional player or an amateur player on scholarship, that sort of thing, because we have players that are amateurs that are on scholarships at various places. Those players are not all they need is a letter to say, okay, they're not going to be at school for X period, and that's it. Not a professional player. A professional player is only available to you in a FIFA window.
You understand what I said? When for some case, we don't be to know, but Whisper should never end up on Jamaica trials. I can't be go. You understand what I said?
You get what I said, I agree to it.
Oh, why you saying him to have to come to the trials?
Yeah, because he might dominate, you know, not only Jamaica, but he might dominate.
Okay, listen, technically, okay, let me just make it simple for you. Balakar, if Whisper come into the trials and kick 4 goals, 4 chances at goal over the bar, he would still be going into the camp.
I've seen the film and see sports.
No, I'm a year.
Son don't come play for Jamaica. The last man, when we hear them talk about, you see by YouTube over time for me.
Who was son?
Dan Burton's son. The last man for West Brom.
Oh. You know
Who's
what?
son?
Dan Burton.
Whose son is that?
Son. Dan Burton.
You know, the second generation of reggae boys, I know that you have a number of them have kids there and so on. I'm not 100% on their, you know, the ages for some of them, but I know that there are players there. I can't say for sure, but he might be, as I said, there are players that I think more than likely we're going to be seeing them at the final part of the thing. It's like, okay, let me make it simple. When the under 17 team is called up for Jamaica later this year, there's a player by the name of Che Gardner that I don't need to see him until the final team pick. Okay?
Paul, listen what me believe in, Paul. I believe this send a signal. It means that no care how good it is, you're not bigger than the national league. It means that you can come, let us see you, because every time when time we go, I would say, them players are going to go on trial. And when them come play for Jamaica, we are said, Jesus Christ, better we use one local base player play. You understand?
That's true.
Over the years, it not help we say, all right, them play in the league, in a championship, but top quality player. When them come play for Jamaica, nothing.
Hold on. Unseen. Let me show you one of the problems. Let me go to the senior team now when you're talking about this. You see, sometimes I'm going to go as far as the,
Hold on the Balakar. Yeah, Paul.
the last under 23 team. All you remember that team? That team had like Leon Bailey was in that team. You had Alex Marsh. It was a star study team. I don't know if all you remember that team.
Under 23?
Yeah. You remember how well that team did at under 20 level? Different coach though. When it reached, yeah man, that team lost out to Mexico, which went to the finals by I think goal difference to qualify. However, about a year or so later, when they met back at under 23, different coach, different style, the team performed woefully. And now let me move to, I'm going to get to the point where I'm showing you know, the senior team, the current senior team. Let's look at how they were doing. Certain players, I'm going to call some names. Ravel Marcel, Leon Bailey, right? Javian Brown. How did they look in the senior team under a different coach and under Paul Hall? Honestly, how did they look? Did they look like the same players when the coach changed?
Balakar, answer that first.
What is about Brown?
No, I get to the point, but I want you to help answer it.
Okay.
I was giving an example about under 23 that did well at under 20, but the coach changed at under 23 and they didn't do as well. Then I'm making a comparison to the senior side and I called 3 names: Leon Bailey, Ravel Morrison, and Javian Brown. How did they look under the 2 different coaches? Did they look like the same player?
No, so they look different. They look like them the sis.
Okay, hold on now. Balakar. And see, listen where I'm going now. A lot of people don't look here. If I give you a Lamborghini, right, or a high-end vehicle to drive, right, and you Balakar can't drive, and the 2 of you get a car for going on the road. It's in the 2 of you, the same exact car. They're not going to perform the same way, right? When you Balakar might be driving the same car and they might hit up the light post and that sort of thing. Look here, what I'm saying is that the important thing is the coach, right? However, the coach can put the team together. You understand? Because the problem is not so much the individual players, because we're working in the time now where international players, some of them, it's not that they wouldn't want to come, but once you are 18, right, you can't take up yourself. That's what I'm just trying to do.
You're gone.
Okay, what I'm saying is the international players.
Yeah, hold on, Paul. I'm here, Paul. Go ahead, Balakar.
And all of them have them good fight. But Craig Butler get around and then I just know. So what we need to do, what you pick a head step if you train him, the movie to start. Yeah, put the ego aside and find out your how with them Jamaican football, because you see you them in a Jamaica and some good you them. And we can look back from kind for this them. You understand what I said? Look back from the youth there. Alright. One mention one thing. Now if I under 20, I under 20 this out on the World Cup for Poland with next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Why they never push like 5 or 8 of them to recruit them in a national team and staff to bring them? You know, say between Meldo and C, as much as Stingray, how you call Andrew Gray, right? Striker, I don't have nothing against him, a good striker. But why he was a 30-year table man now when time you have an under 20 striker back then when they are playing good as a midfield game. He give them a chance. Work them in
Balakar.
What am I saying? So that's why though you can see the shift in terms of the coach. Coach have a lot to do with it. You have to remember that. You understand? Remember that, that's why Paul get a scenario a while ago. Coach.
I never thought what they call them.
That what call him then?
May I know say politics not to be find out from that from your
So why when Paul come, Paul can't call anybody when he want?
Because Paul probably Leo to them where he want to.
Yeah. But the interim them call him for an interim coach. So if he do anything, them can fire him and him not do so well in terms of getting
a point, man. I really want ball with him leg stop.
If they really fire I don't get the football is not going on because I'm here afraid of call. As we are saying, the last 3 months we play when we come here. There is no way on earth we should have called. So young youth we get called and try to pick them man.
What me ask? Alright, you know me I say, okay, I have a problem with the great call. You know which problem I have with calling back Akana squad? That now them should have lock him up. Them shall lock him up and show the key for that.
And see it. Give me one, man. Believe me, one this one, man.
Go on.
Balakar. Listen up.
Hold on, the Paul. He must say something on the attack. He must say something on the attack.
So they talk, every time the company come and ask, they say, what plan you want to sell in a pool? Then Lambert could have come over Aka every day, every time.
Okay. Balakar.
I jump on and when we get 4. A last man in you. You see them a try to see you to the last man.
Fool them taking for.
And then we are a particular person talk, oh, Lambert, you want to play. Look how we get 4 for. You never play you that defensive midfield.
Balakar, you ready?
I'm ready to try to set up the yard, man. The main way they know you. That's tell you.
Go on, Pa. In my ear.
Balakar, how much goal you have looking at your net now?
Huh?
How much goal you have looking at your net now?
What's that?
Him say how much goal it? What you say again? Say it again.
How many goals? How many balls you have score upon him right now?
How many balls Paul Maxwell can score for you now? Make him
with the same hacker thing. Maggie exclusive, you know. Okay, Balakar. You said that Tapa never select him squad them.
I see it, Maxwell a keeper.
No, him say you want to keep and him a kick off your goal.
Listen, man. Balakar. How many players? Listen now. Listen to what I'm saying. Ask the question. First question I'm asking you. Tapa Whitmore never selected his squads. Hold on, Balakar. Tell me one player or 2 players that you're sure Tapa never select. 2.
Big up Andrew Sewell. Andrew Sewell in the panel, Paul.
Balakar.
Big up yourself.
Eh?
No, I say big up Andrew Sewell. Then the safe hands.
Yeah. Balakar, ask you to name about 2 or 3 players that you are 100% sure Tapa never select. Who are they?
I don't even select Javon. He's sure about that.
Go on.
Yeah.
2 more.
I don't even select Lamar Walker. I'm sure about that.
Continue.
I don't even select Colbert.
I chew that.
Okay, I could just hold on. You know the name of the round here. I'll know you not call it, you know. How the song go? Party till him is how much? Hold on, man. Balakar. Mr. Watson. I don't name them as I wait for. Who select him? And a Tapa either, right? Balakar.
Yeah, man.
Hello?
In my ear, man.
Asking about the name I wanted to hear. Javon Watson. I could start since we're talking about him. You think he was selected by Tapa?
Of course, then I will could have selected.
No, not unseen. A Balakar will answer. Oh, so you know so Tapa select Javon Watson.
Yeah.
Okay. You can look here now. Hey, Balakar. You know, I'm going to give you some homework. Right? Look, you listen to me, Balakar. Look at almost every single squad Tapa chose coming up to the Gold Cup. And look how many times Javon East was in that squad here. Right? Tapa Whitmore had a core set of players that he, no matter what, he was selecting. I don't know if you know what. When you're coaching and you're a coach and you get the team list to write out, you write out your 14 or 15 players that are must selections. Paul Hall actually gave you a taste site when he said, him show you a list of 16 players and he said this 16 is him core. Right? Because JFF asked him and he gave them 16 and said these 16 are my starting core that I'm going to work with. And then he wanted another 7 to integrate in. No man, listen up, Balakar. You listen to me? Let me tell you something. Right? If you look at the core of players, right, that Tapa Whitmore had, most of the names that you call in were players, right, that Tapa Whitmore was always calling. I won't say Lamar Walker. Okay? I will not go there. But all the rest of them, including Corey Burke, right, are Tapa Whitmore regular selections over the years. He has always called them. I'm not asking you on that. I can go into details, but we're not going to go into that because I'm going to go into some other matters.
But Paul Maxwell, my
Yeah.
problem is, well, on the Balaka, my problem is, you have core players, right? If I don't want to keep like Blake or say Leon Bailey, or if you have core players like Corey Burke and them man there, we can't understand it.
Listen, okay, let me let out a little exclusive here. And this is coming out of a meeting at JPF, okay?
Yeah.
I tell you this, can't get sued for this, right? It's exclusive, hot.
Hot.
How many people are aware, right, that when team selection, even okay, so the selection for Javon Watson, let me tell you how that came about. When the core of the team for the work for the what was it again now? For the Gold Cup, they had a list and they were going through the list with the coach. And then now the coach are asking the coach, is there anybody, because any of these players that are not starting are with a club right now? And the coach said Alvas Powell, right? And everybody said, okay, yeah, we know about Alvas situation because he was in transit between clubs. And then now, remember, this was pre-Gold Cup, and then he said, oh, Japan Watson too. Everybody at that particular meeting, you hear a pin drop. Nobody thought that Javon Watson would be seen back at Jamaica jersey. But it was made known. Sometime after that, it came up that Javon Watson was transferred into Humble Lion. And everybody knew what was the next inevitable thing. That he would have been in the national team, regardless. Right? Because this was already agreed between himself and the coach. Okay? So a lot of people don't realize that Tapa Whitmore had ultimate selection in who he wanted to play. There are certain players that Tapa Whitmore never rate. Balakar, let me give you an example. Do you know which match was it that Antonio scored his debut goal again? Where was it again? Was it El Salvador?
El Salvador, yeah.
Balakar, I'm going to ask you a question. You listening? Balakar.
He said know exactly what going on Jamaica. Balakar, talk with him.
Balakar, do you think that the match for El Salvador, do you think that Mikel Antonio was selected as part of that team? Was an initial selection. Yeah, the team that played against that in that round with El Salvador. Do you think that Mikel Antonio was originally a part of that unit? Would you have selected him, Balakar? No, Balakar. What I'm showing you, Balakar, what I'm trying to tell you is that ultimately, let me just make it straight. Tapa Whitmore had ultimate selection over about 90% of the players. When you had a gap and you had players to make up the balance, then now you might have people from the technical committee recommending certain players. That is one of the reasons that Mikel Antonio got in at one stage. When Tapa Whitmore picked his players he wanted, and then they said, but hold on, select Antonio. He was not interested in him. And then they had a space, and then he was brought in.
I'll say go.
Okay. What do you mean? We're not asking you. I can tell you other names.
Balakar. But Gary asked the Balakar. Talk again.
Start talking as a word. Such man we used to run a farmer club in a Premier League. Team 3 of them when the national team card. Half is in 4 and 5 of them. That's alright.
Balakar, we know that for years, man. Balakar, you remember John Barnes?
Yeah, man.
John Barnes, remember when he was national coach?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember? I'm not going to go too deep into it because I don't want them give Ancina a lawsuit. Okay? I just going to brush over it. Do you know why John Barnes did not get back his job?
Probably because he want to use player with him.
Don't call the club. Don't call the club. Okay, Balakar. John Barnes came on KLAS with Avil Higgins, and he said that a certain administrator in the JFF was not pleased on retaining him because he did not select players from the said administrator's club. Okay? Listen now, once John Barnes' contract was not renewed, a new coach came in by the name of Whitmore. Once the coach Whitmore came in, we saw a new influx of players from said club.
The man have to keep him job, brother. The man have, first, we're going to have to keep the bread in it. 500,000.
First time. But from then coming up, we have always seen that. Okay? Because the person has a lot of clout. However, you know, unseen, what we have to do is give that normally that club produces quality players. So sometimes you have, the problem I have is when you have players who are past the prime or that sort of thing, selected still, which I don't think is right.
True.
10 players want to come from Harborview, 10 from Arnett, 10 from Cavalier. I don't think this is where they come from.
Balakar, say ma come after. So just want a minute to talk. Continue, Balakar.
Oh.
Alright. What's the support? Anthony the first time really nice Premier League, right?
Right.
And every time in National League call up, we don't see best defender, we don't see best striker, and then we'll see a player from up top. They play in the national team. You know how the Mumbai United player them start getting played in the national team. And Jamaica, like all of Jamaica start pressure on JFF, and you know so they can't take pressure. So they end up calling them. So tough people in the national team. You see me? So JFF can't take pressure because they now pick the right player them. A man will score 15 or 18 goals. They now call him, but the man will score 3 goals in the card. That's all right. Have it up at end, have it something have to done up there. So.
Our next thing to what me see in the national program, I see every time when coach get fired, one coach get fired, you know, one to the goal, one to the assistant, one to the goalkeeper coach, one to the team manager, one to the man. The man can build house out of the work, Madrid. The man can buy, the man can know say, alright, then coach I get fired, me not get fired, you know, so what you know? My job sealed. You understand? Them things are right, Virgin. No, Andre Blake, if Andre Blake could have passed out the ball with his foot, see? I give him the props over a lot of keeper we are keeping in Europe.
That's been trying since Paul Hall, you know. I forget that.
And that may I show you, that's why I said the Jamaican coach, they fail. Mafia try doing proper better now. But when I say the Jamaican goalkeeper coach, I work with him, fail.
No, unseen. It's not so much a goalkeeper coach, you know. It's the instructions of the head coach.
I must show you, Balakar, I said yes, yo. You see the coach them, coach have a lot to do it, you know. Be a boom kick, boot! Because a 1998 ball game that. Right.
Ryan Sterling not Jamaican and a my player. But he get Liverpool, he can control and the man there Man City, but the man there Man City and Pep. And the man that's 6 months, they can't believe see Ryan Sterling that. You see me, so coach have a lot to do with it. All the equipment and the human building program. That's all they need to do.
Yeah, what them they were making billion when time reach the last part, they mash up again. You know?
Just like
That me I tell you.
and they play them now in a national team.
Is it?
Yes,
Because the man they gonna tell you straight, they gonna tell you, yo, you don't use the national team for sell player.
so, alright, what we did, so when we JFF now under 23, like we're in a training and so.
Because they might use the under 20 team and gonna come up to the under 23.
No, it's not that. I'm saying that's not it. The reason why we do have an under 23 is that it's not that they're going to come up, you know. It's that FIFA said they're going to use the 2003 players and the under 20 to qualify them. But if the team qualify, you're going to have the players that born 2002. Once the team qualify, you can use them at that stage. I don't know why they do it, but that's the decision.
Peter Morgan, how much?
I'm too old. Way too old.
No, we don't say I'm too old for under 20, but if we qualify with under
23? Too old for that though.
normally I'm 21, I think 21. Martin and Peter Morgan is same age.
Listen up, Peter. Oh yeah, for under 23. No, for under 23, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Right? But if the team here qualifies for the under 20, you know, if you don't forget with this team, you know, you can change them at that stage for the 2002 players.
Right. So we're gonna have some better player like Peter Morgan.
I don't understand who came up with this idea and what the idea is, because I can tell you, if we were able to use our 2002 players, we would do very, very well. Because that's players like Dwayne Atkinson and the rest, you know. It's a significant pool.
Right. Yeah.
Last Jamaican team I get called up. Why I give me honest truth the one. I'm doing that, I ain't afraid of nobody. The youth when they call me Rose, not the truth.
Bridget, me didn't want match. Me didn't want match with the stadium, right? And some fans the back of me. Some fans the back of me I said, put on them are Rose. And I said, them are who? I said, them are who? Say it again, Rose. I said, yo, you wanna do? Security, police, come for them. They come out of the stadium. No. I mean I say, yo, the man not ready no time at all, Bridget.
Yo, in the Jamaican Premier League, and don't you can't have the feeder them
Listen to me. You have, alright. So in the Premier League, me watch the Premier League, you know. People say I'm biased because the youth are coming from Charlie, but I'm not biased. You understand? 3/4 Arnett game. 3/4 Arnett game. Marlon Martin have been start. Marlon Martin starting a heavy game play, D-mid. Right? And I perform good in it. Eh? Yeah, I perform good and you have to get a look in. Harvey. Well, Harvey from Mount Pleasant. You see, I cheer them the well, Ramon Owell. Marlon Martin and Harvey, they are the best team in the country right now.
Yo, and they mash up you, them men hard while.
And them now give them a call.
When you say you, them go overseas, whatever interesting in Jamaica. Money must have been money, I'm building their house yard.
Yeah, and that's the thing there.
I guess we think they're right now. Alright. There's e-sport Jordan, such as this. You see, we got to fetch and do. Man, make sure Ghana and India can get some money. Man, they might think about it in the life after football.
Yeah, because Giant Fletcher have to do it, you know. Him can go do other things, you know. We're not going to put it on the radio, but him can do other things. But him decides he's going to do it the right way. You get me, I say? Yeah. So I'm glad for that way him do. Glad for that way him do.
Yo, I didn't know here come up. I said, man, I'm 28 now. I have to make sure I'm going to go play in Syria and I get scrums. And then when we go play football, I can't maintain myself. The man, them have to think about life after football.
Bro, the man in the JFF, brother, make the youth them don't love the country again. The love of the country is not there. The passion to play for your country is not there. The mantle, the standard, but I know the standard to play for Jamaica is low. You can don't play for a club team and play for Jamaica. You can come out of retirement and play for Jamaica. So things said, and that's why they didn't put the thing, Virgin. So the standard low, so everybody has said, Jamaica come like one mat. Can walk one now.
But me a 16-year-old because of Marino. And every year Marino and in my league was scorer. See? And when that coach, such coaching as in international programs, when the coach they call up player for national league, because they are coaching Premier League and they are coaching national league. They don't say because the youth will come from Westmoreland, score 2 goals. The man carry him in a national team and the lead goal scorer every man not care looking, you know. Jamaica football can't change. They have to change first.
Look on Karim Paris now. Karim Paris a dominate and can't get a look in version. What do you think?
We don't want to get a look in it. No one even talk about it.
Talk about him, man, if you know, tell me.
No, man. Leader must not talk about that, man. My Karim Paris started to call leader.
Leader. Yeah, run for the question, leader. Leader hide.
Paris shirt behind me, there, man. And one of the people that have been beating down that door. I know certain things, but I can't give that exclusive there. Not even for 1,000 likes. Just leave it at that. Politics. Politics.
And see,
Yeah.
this is a we know, though.
Yeah, man, you know.
And let me show you, Balakar. A lot of people come with this fallacy sometime and talk about Mr. Speed can pick team. If Mr. Speed could have picked team, Karim Paris would have done at the team long time here.
That means that if Karim Paris could have picked
You recognize that. Not in a long time. Because Mr. Speed will benefit for him. So don't fool yourself. Bigger politics here.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're not sure about the one.
100. Well, I am 110% sure. I'm not asking you.
That makes sense though, Balakar, because Karim Paris is a speed boy, you know. And if you can put in something for him, you will get him in a squad.
You sure about the one then?
Yeah, man, I'm sure about that one.
Sure.
Balakar. Cavaliers still own a percentage of Karim Paris. So let me just help you with that here. If Karim Paris gets right, Cavaliers still going to benefit significantly.
Balakar, we have to understand with football business, you know. It don't mix up with personal business. You understand what I say? If him and Speed not talk, it don't matter. You still have an agreement with him whenever I'm gonna move to a club and the club have to get compensation. So whether or not, so watch this now. So him playing for Jamaica gonna benefit Cavaliers and Speed. So at the end of the day, even the have to do something for him to make him get the playing time, so he can get the points to move to a different club. You understand, Balakar?
Yes. Listen, it's more than that one thing, you know. Balakar. Listen now.
Hold on. Yeah.
We have quality in our system. So they can't look down for the player them. The reason why I know we rate them because you fight for you them and in no way you them can't do. I'm here man to sound for the program and I'm not lying. Because remember say Sean Laws, he was a captain Jamaica. I never know say India Phoenix man run them. And I went there about to them to the national team. So we as fans who love the
Balakar. Hold on. Minute.
Wow, hold on. I only have 10 more minutes. Because I forgot to run go port more now, people.
Balakar, look here now. Let me just address something quick now. What you're saying there is not true, right? Because listen, there has never been a club by the name of Phoenix, okay? And Phoenix has never officially been able to not play. Phoenix has always played under different teams. So when Craig Butler come out and say that, it's not true. So don't believe that, okay? They have always been able to play under other teams' names. Plus, listen, Sean Laws has never ever played under any Phoenix banner. They train at Phoenix, but there's a smaller core that actually play at the clubs that Craig Butler normally move around with. So don't believe a lot of those things that you hear. Plus, when you hear Craig fighting, Sometimes I'm fighting for something he don't need to do. Because this so-called fight he was doing for Whisper was never necessary. Because Whisper was always going to be in the thing. And he knew.
But you have to remember, you have to look on it though, on the two sides of part. You understand? What's Mr. Butler's profession? You know, where he go to school for?
He's a marketer.
Marketing. He's not going to school for no coach. He's a marketer.
Marketing. So
and he's a what? And he's a what?
Agent.
Right. And he has a responsibility to do what?
Push his players.
By any means necessary. Not so you go. Right. So
and him do a good job, I tell you the truth. Him do a damn good job.
And he's doing a good job. We cannot blame him. So at the end of the day, right, he might do a good job in terms of whether he play them look good or not, he make him play them look good.
That's true.
And he make you want to look into him play them. So at the end of the day, he's doing a wonderful job. I have to give. Yeah.
As a marketing manager, so you go spend time for your product.
And look at it now. Look how lines it up. When Maggie they play for football in Jamaica, you couldn't touch Maggie, you know, because the jersey, old boy them and whoever. You can't touch him, you can't get him at all. Them know the best. Them know everything what them are gonna do for Maggie. Right? Maggie leave them hands now, right? Who after I try Maggie now for try to make it in a football? The JC old boy can help him now.
No. Well, he's sports management agency now, so we'll see how that goes. The top agencies around the world.
And a Butler have to take him now and I try to put him and then make it seem get a bigger thing now. You understand what can push him for? A Butler have to try to take him and
so that's why I tell you and see sports. All they try, all the bad things when they say about Mr. Butler. The man does I want to see Jamaica do good. Because if you never want to see Jamaica do good, you never have to go on Vince and Charlie Maggie and teach him the craft.
A true man.
Hold on. It's not so Mr. Butler want to do the best for his players. Because there was one time Mr. Butler would come out and him say he want 11 Phoenix players to represent Jamaica. That is not the best.
What was that?
He wanted 11 Phoenix players to represent Jamaica. And around the time, I don't know if any remember when Phoenix played Waterhouse in a practice match against Waterhouse third string, how much that Phoenix side got. And that thing that put everything to bed for a while. But trust me, at one stage wanted 11 Phoenix players to represent Jamaica. So don't fool yourself. The man wants, he has his own goal. Just like people from Portmore, just like people from Harbourview, Cavalier, everybody, they have their own. But Mr. Butler carried to another level. Yeah?
No. You have to understand enough. A man say, boy, all I'm playing in I'm squad. You have fine. Can't say anything you want to say. But you have to prove it.
Oh, he was serious. He was serious.
You have to prove it, Virgin. You can't just come tell me say why.
And he got the chance against Waterhouse. Waterhouse third string.
Right, if you get beaten, he go sit down. I say you go.
And he did sit down for a while and was very quiet. There are number of years.
Why Mr. Butler under 20 team play a friendly game to Jamaica under 20 team and beat them 5-0? What you say?
What?
No,
Mr. Butler can't even look here. I won't go into the logistics. I'm not argue over that. All we can say is Mr. Butler is a boss man at marketing and pushing his player. What we need is somebody like him in the JFF for deal with the marketing aspect, not the coaching, but the marketing. I believe with that.
We're going to use box up right now. You would have said the coach wants 11 players in a team, right? In a one play pitch. So what about when the under 20, when the under 17 go and the World Cup and the 17 Cavaliers play night?
8 Cavalier players. Hold on, Balakar. There's a big difference at youth level and senior level. Huge difference. There's no way I would expect to see 8 players from any local club in any national team. That would no. What do that?
But 13 in the national call of those Cavaliers
Balakar. Hold on now. Unseen. I said at the start of the program, Balakar, are you aware that is only about 5 The rest of them were for the under 20. It's just that the two squads trained together. It's not the senior squad. It's something that people keep saying, and it's not true. Most of them were junior players, which is a norm. But people keep making it look like all of them were there for the senior squad, which is untrue.
I like them tell Balaka.
No. I mean, I said that, you know. So me I say, what about the other players in Arnigard? Why only one player for Arnigard is called up in the trade? Why defensive the 15 get called up?
I they never have some. I believe in that. Well, they have somebody like Craig Butler for ball out them game and come from program. You know,
it's not seen. Look here. All you need to do is look at how many new players. Most of the players that were there were players that were called up at some level before, you know.
And then an agent will push them. I better if an agent different from Butler, what them would like, now we push them play there with them in the United squad. I say it going on.
Sometimes agents push them out, you know.
But a full time for the national team stop use. I'm not going to say a couple years ago, you know, such club they use it, they sell them, put it on the stop. Whether USA then go, whether Costa Rica then go, in it, stop. We Jamaican people put a stop to it. Yo, when I pay them, I see Jamaica got a World Cup, you know, man. And then the under 17 and the under 20, you know. What more we go see?
Hey, people, we are going to put more. We're going to continue with that discussion.
When you're ready, just show me back, yeah?
The exclusive, yes. This is exclusive. And Paul Maxwell give you all the exclusive. What are the Paul Maxwell? You have an exclusive to give you 33 likes.
Belgium.
Yeah.
Belgium. Right. That's all I'm saying. God.
Belgium, you Ben?
Can't tell you. No, man. Next call me back, I'm going to tell you a little bit more. Call me back.
All right,
give them part 2. Okay?
Part 2. All right, so people, I jump on live. Just like, smash the like button. Paul Maxwell, big up yourself for come on and talk to the people in Unseen Sports family. Big up all the commenters, all the persons that are coming to support. Yeah, man. Paul Maxwell, they come give you some information on the, you know, the u20 football selection process and what is going on so far. Whisper dominates again in training and he's doing well. Big up to Phoenix and more Real Mona, all the players them Dintil, Ryan Thomas, all of them will come out and they played well and I saw some outstanding performance. So big up to Fresh God, all people, special edition, Jenny Weather, you know, Crazy RTV, man from England. Everybody will come support Unseen Sports TV. You know, it's sports from a different angle. I respect all of them will come out. Like up the stream. Go in, I have to go on the road, people. So we're going to have a part 2. We're going to keep information for what going on with the under 20. I'm going to know what going on. Yeah. So, big up yourself, everybody. Yeah, man. Out.